I'm going to be investing like a complete noob for 1 week.
So today is Monday, today is Tuesday, Wednesday, today is Thursday, day 4. Uh, Once again, another pretty mixed day. Not a whole lot happened.
All right, so this challenge is now officially complete. We've gone 5 full days of investing like a complete beginner. Here are the results. So it's actually been a couple weeks since I filmed this series. I wanted to give myself a little bit of time to kind of contemplate everything that happened during the week, kind of learn from it, uh, figure out what key takeaways I can take from this, and kind of give to you, the audience. Sheets that I kind of kept track of each day. So real fast, we'll go through the entire week one more time. So this is day 1. We saw these are all the things that I purchased. I didn't sell anything that day. These are the cost basis of what I purchased. As you can see, I spent exactly all of that $500. Day 2, I had some slight gains. I had about maybe about 80 cents of gain. On that day, they were the only 2 stocks that had gained, so that's why I sold them. I wanted to capitalize on those gains and use that to buy more stocks. Then on the next day, I had about a 50-cent gain on this stock, Howell Mets. I used that money. I bought 2 different stocks, Dish and SunPower. I think Dish did pretty good the next day. As you can see, I sold it on Friday for a pretty good gain. So then on Thursday, here we have, I did sell Boston Scientific Corp, which I actually had $1 gain on, which is pretty good. That was one that I had bought on the second day. So in 2 days, I had a pretty nice gain on it. And then we go to Friday to see, I sold everything that day. I didn't buy anything. So I had 2 stocks that had some really, really good gains. Dish made me about $1.50 off of a $29 investment. So that's a really good kind of increase. This other stock, BIT, I had about $2 gain on that, which was pretty good, off of a $101 investment, literally at the end of the day before. So overall, not bad on that front. These last 3 stocks, T-Mobile, like I said throughout the week, that was the one I was hoping would kind of rebound on Friday. There were earnings statements. I thought it'd be pretty good. That was not the case. I lost 76 cents. That actually was rebounded. So I was able to sell it at the highest possible for that day, which not too bad. We had some other gains to offset that. The SunPower, same type of situation. I lost 34 cents off of a $29 investment, so not the same kind of return as the Dish investment. And then this Frontier Group one, that was the one that hurt me the most. I bought this on day 1 for $58 and sold it on Friday for $53. So I lost $4.47. Realistically, if I was doing this on my own, I would not have sold that then. I would have waited until it rebounded, would have made me a little bit of capital gains. Unfortunately, because of the challenge, I did have to sell it to meet all of the rules. So down here, you can see my results. My actual capital gains total was about 53 cents. Overall, not great. I was obviously hoping it would be higher. I ended with about $500.53. I ended with about $500.53, which amounts to a 0.11% increase. So if you were to take that increase and annualize it through the entire year, assuming you did the same thing, made the same returns every single week, which is pretty unlikely, but it's more likely that you'll probably get a higher percentage return than this. Again, because you're not going to sell those stocks at a loss, most likely, or that big of a loss. And secondly, you're going to have, this was kind of a mid-week. Nothing big happened. The week before was a big week for me, and I was on vacation, so I was like trading like very minimally. I made a lot of gains that week. So I was confident going into this week. This did not turn out like I had hoped. I made some gains. I didn't lose any, but at the same time, it wasn't a big week. So this could be higher. It could be lower for the whole year. Who knows? So about 5.61% return, which for that $500 for the whole year, assuming what happened based on this, I would have about $528 at the end of the year. not a horrible gain. I did want to find out what would happen if I had not sold those stocks for a loss on the last day. Once those stocks would have rebounded and made a gain, I would have sold them. That would have actually amount to a $6 capital gain for this week alone, which was not horrible for a very, like I said, mid-week. That brings my balance to about $506, which is a percentage increase of 1.22%. Annualize that throughout the year to 63% increase, making my fair value, my estimated value at the end of the year for a whole year of investing like this would be $940, which, as you can see, that's a huge difference, and that's a really good gain for such a very small amount. So I also did a little bit of side investing outside of this week, and on Wednesday when I bought Dish, I actually bought a little bit more of it outside of this whole experiment. The next day, I sold it for about a $50 capital gain, which was very incredible. I also bought another stock that day. The very next day, I sold it for $25 capital gain. So really, I was just kind of unlucky based on what I bought in this. And also, the $500 was very limiting. So having more capital to invest definitely led to better gains. If we assume I had about, including this $500, the $700 that I also spent on those other stocks, I had about a $75 capital gain actual for that whole week, bringing my ending balance to about $1275, which is about a 6.29 percentage increase over the week, which would make that 327% throughout the entire year for a fair value from $1,200 to $28,000. Now, that's pretty unrealistic. That's not going to happen. The numbers are maybe skewed a little bit because I did get very lucky on those two stocks and was able to sell them within a day for a very large capital gain. But that's pretty unlikely to happen every single week. So what did I learn throughout this experiment? I think the biggest thing is it's really all about luck. You can make money doing this. It's a lot of work. You got to pay attention to how the markets are moving. You got to pay attention to how your stocks are doing and evaluate them pretty much every day. I always had my fidelity screen up so that I was following them throughout the day so that I could capitalize when they were gains. So the biggest thing is you can do this, you can make money doing this, but it's going to take a lot of work. The second big thing that I learned is that it's more powerful to invest in something and let it sit over time, where you would then sell it at a much higher gain. So patience is key during investing, especially with stocks. Now, these are probably going to go up over time, and that's okay. You'll also be making dividends and you'll have interest. So there are other ways to make money investing besides selling for capital gains. It's also easier to invest in indexes, mutual funds, where they do all the work for you. You pick a fund, you pick an index that you trust. Overall, if I had invested in the S&P 500, it would have beat what I did this week because the S&P 500 went up a lot. It may have gone up 1, 2, maybe even 3% this week alone, which if I had invested all $500 of that, it obviously would have given me way more of an increase than I had just buying and selling individual stocks. The last thing I learned is while you can do this with a small account with just $500, you're not going to see the gains that you want, mostly because your starting amount was relatively small. You do want to diversify, which is very hard to do with just $500. So it is easier when you have more money to invest. You can diversify better. Your capital gains are way more noticeable. So, for example, the $700 that I spent aside from this that made so much more capital gains. For example, Dish being one of those stocks that I bought, I did have a gain on here, but it was not as big as the gain that I actually made outside of this experiment. So that's pretty much it for this experiment. I plan on doing another type of experiment like this in the future, maybe over a longer period of time, maybe with a larger size and different parameters around what I can invest in. If you have any ideas, any challenges for investing, any tips, leave them in the comment below so that I can take those into account when I do this again. so I know what you would like to see as the audience and learn from. Finally, once my channel reaches 1,000 subscribers, I will be releasing a 12-week financial foundations course for you. This 12-week course will go over everything that you need to know to have a solid financial foundation, a solid financial understanding, and financial literacy so that you can make the best decisions. We'll cover topics from debt to investing to budgeting and way more. So please hit subscribe so that we can get to that goal and I can give you the financial foundation course that you need. On top of that, this channel's first 100 subscribers will have access to that completely free. All you have to do is hit subscribe if you're one of the first 100 subscribers, and once that's released, you will have complete access to it. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.